Hello there. This is Enter the Ether podcast, all about ethereal clash of souls. I'm your host, the Man Goose. Joining me, as always, is my friend and co-host, JellyKnees. How you doing, Jelly?
I'm so good, Mangoose.
You got the tinfoil hat on.
Dude, the tinfoil task force strikes again. We were right again about the camps. There were 38 camps in Ethereal. I'm just saying. Okay?
You called it.
We can take this off now.
You don't want to leave it on the entire time?
No, my fabulous hair will be hidden away from the people.
Yeah, you guys fucking nailed it on the head. That was a great job from on your part. And speaking of which, that's what we're going to be talking about, of course, is the community corner. They had their very first community corner this week, hosted by Noxus. And who was that girl?
Some random chick, I think.
Do you know her?
I don't know. I've never met her in real life, that's for sure.
It was, of course, Page of Imagination. I'll tell you what, Noxus did not look like I expected him to look, and I didn't appreciate that. Not one bit. Like, I don't know what I thought he would look like, but I would like him to look a little more like what I would think he would look like, even though neither of us knows what I'd think he would look like.
Less gorgeous man than, like... Yeah, no, I totally get it. 100%.
Less gorgeous man.
Not that we said we're thinking you didn't look like a gorgeous man, Noxus, but we didn't think you would look like a gorgeous man.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, Owen and Kai are going to show up and be drop dead gorgeous too.
I know, right?
Models walking down.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy. Maybe that's why they don't show themselves. They're too pretty.
They're just afraid their good looks will be too much for us.
They're too pretty for this world.
Yeah.
Like we can't fit in with that nerd asshole Man Goose. We're too pretty for that man. Maybe that's what it is.
That's it. You're the reason they don't show their faces.
I have my rustic good looks. God damn it. Yeah, let's get back into the community corners. So with the community corner, they answered a handful of questions at the very first. We're going to go over those real quick in case you missed out on what those answers were. The first question was, will the game names be saved from alpha to launch? So if you create your in-game name, do you get to keep that when the game officially launches? Jelly survey says...
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else.
If I steal Mangoose's username, I'll get it forever. Yeah. That's all that I need.
I hope somebody doesn't do that. I'll be so sad.
Mangoose it out, and then there it is. It's over.
I hope they do what predecessor let us make our usernames before anybody, like content creators, let us make our usernames before anybody else did, so that they wouldn't get stolen. That was nice
so sad.
I know, right? That's so sad. So what was the next question, Jelly?
The next question was, I'm blanking because I don't have it up.
Oh, Jelly, you didn't pull up the Google Docs? The next question was, when can we expect...
When we're going to see a zero skin.
Oh,
zero skin.
Oh, yes, you got it. Jelly wins again, coming in hot with that tinfoil hat. He's got it set to the side, but it's still affecting his brain.
Exactly.
So with the skin for Zero, they said that he'll be in the pre-alpha set, and there was a small teaser. In case you guys don't want to go rooting through to look for that, I'm going to throw it up on the screen right now so you can see a bit of what the Zero skin will look like. I will tell you, it doesn't show you the whole picture, of course, so take what you can get there. And
I expect that this skin is going to be called like Judgment Zero or something. Like it feels very serious based on what we have seen of it.
Yeah. It's kind of a more rounded helm too, which for some reason made him look a little more intimidating, more inquisitor-like. I don't know, but yeah, guys, I had to search for hours upon hours upon hours to find that image. I didn't just have it because I made it for Owen. That didn't happen.
It wasn't like me who went through literally every avenue and couldn't find the image.
Oh, did you really?
Legit every single one. I had to live up to my name. And then Mangoose just like, oh, here it is. I'm like, cool. Thanks for that.
Well, I mean, he came to me one day. He had to make a thumbnail for something, but he was on his phone. He was like, "Oh, man, Goose, I can't make thumbnails. Please help me. You're so manly and strong." So I was like, "Here you go, Owen."
Now Owen, just to prove that he doesn't have that kind of voice, is gonna do like a face reveal and voice reveal, and we're gonna see that he's a gorgeous man just like Noxus, and it's all over from there.
I've
Like,
talked
man,
to him quite a bit, and that's exactly what he sounds like. "Oh, man, Goose, save me." He's got this weird Southern accent.
I will neither confirm nor deny. I'll leave that to Owen.
Uh, so the next question was, how can the random weather events be balanced? And they said that they're only going to last for about 3 minutes, and they will affect everyone. So, I don't know how balanced that is still, because certain things affect other different heroes certain ways. So,
Yeah, I completely agree, and I think 3 minutes is really fast. Like,
you think that's
in the
fast? I
grand
think that's too
scheme,
long.
I see that's people have been telling me that too. In the grand scheme of like a 30 to 40 minute game, having 10 rotations of weather or of just time of day rather is that to me seems nuts.
If one hero benefits more than the rest from that, then that's 3 minutes of that dude wreaking havoc.
That's true.
'Cause
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird.
they did this in Here's the Storm. They had random weather events that would just happen throughout the map. They got rid of that shit pretty damn quick, because like one of the events would suddenly make everybody stealth. Some heroes aren't meant to be stealthed, you know? Like
Yeah.
it's fine if a hero is balanced around having stealth in their kit, but when they don't and they have stealth, it was killing people. Oh,
Yeah,
anyway.
it'll be interesting to see what the effects are of the weather and all of that and how it really feels being 3 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those. I think a lot of what we saw is going to be better interpreted by feel than it is just by looking at it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just going to have to find out from playing, I think.
Yeah.
And that was all. That was the only three. That was the only three questions they had. If you guys have more questions for Undying Games, just head to their Discord, and they have a special channel where you can just put your questions in there, and they'll try and ask them in the next community corner. Because I think we'll do this weekly, or do you know?
I think they said it's going to be weekly on every Friday. So in lieu of blog posts, they're going to do a community corner, but maybe they'll alternate. So they'll
Yeah.
do a blog post one week and a community corner the next, and then just alternate between the two.
Yeah. I wonder where they got the idea to do something like this.
Yeah, that's crazy. The funniest thing to me was when they started with "Let's enter the ether," and I was like, "Excuse me?
Yeah. Yeah.
That trademark. Thank you very much.
They've
I'll
already,
take our payment in Malaya body pillows."
they have soon TM'd. We have entered the ether TM'd.
Yeah, God, how dare they?
I know,
It's like
right?
they knew that this show existed.
And as a special treat, it's like it's as if one of them had been on the show as a guest host at some point in time.
And it wasn't the handsome man.
So as a special treat, they gave us a much more in-depth walkthrough of the map than we have seen yet. More of a fly-through. It was, the
Yeah.
camera angle or whatever. But holy crap, there was a lot there. Jelly, I know you did a live stream. I didn't watch the live stream. I was doing other stuff, but I know you and your tinfoil task force had to have found like a billion gazillion things.
So, yeah, for sure. The big thing that they talked about in the kind of fly through of the map is open camps. Something specifically called open camps. And these look like a small square or a small rectangle on the ground that are going to have some kind of special enemy, jungle type enemy that gives a bigger reward than just your basic jungle camp. They didn't give any more details than that. But if you look at the from the top-down images we got in the blog posts, if you look at the weird like open spots that we've seen on the map, that's where the open camps are going to sit.
Right.
So there's going to be 8 open camps total just based off of that image. 2 on the void lane and then 3 on fire and ice respectively, which is going to be really cool and interesting to see. If the buffs are big enough, they could be kind of their own mini skirmishes in the jungle over them. I'd imagine that the duo lane's going to have their own type of buff and the solo lane's going to have its own, and vice versa, to make the lanes competitive. But it'll be interesting to see what those entail. But there's 1,000 tiny details just in this fly through of like logs or places that camps are or hidden pathways or I've got a whole video that came out yesterday as of Tuesday. So if you're watching this, yesterday it came out, that goes through all of the like the little Easter egg things that I found in that fly through that we got.
Right on. I'm looking forward to that then.
Yeah, it's nuts. It really is.
The open camps, that's a kind of a weird idea. I like it though, because like anybody can see that you're doing that camp and come third party your ass like you're playing Apex Legends.
Like, well, it means that, so we have 38 camps total, 19 per side. If you take out the open camps, it's 30 camps. So it's really 15 per side, not including the opens, which are going to be more, sounds like they're going to be more contested than regular jungle camps.
Right. And
when you assume with that many camps we have 2 junglers, I feel like it's just going to be non-stop battles between open camps and buffs and wyverns and Atropos and the obelisk, whatever that does. And oh my god.
Well, hopefully the reward matches the risk for that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. The 3 ring things, I noticed those really do seem to me like portals now. From the way
they're calling situated. It the obelisk. They're not calling it a portal. They're calling it the obelisk.
That wasn't the obelisk though, was it?
That
was the obelisk?
Yep.
But there was one like on the side of the map too.
That's where it is. It's in the mid lane across from Atropos Cave.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, void lane, not mid lane.
So that's going to be that was the other big reveal, is a 4th neutral objective, which we kind of thought there would be one. An obelisk. You think it'll just be kind of like a tower in the jungle?
I honestly have no idea. Yeah. Because I've looked at the images we've had for the obelisk so many times for so many hours that I just sit there. I'm like, this could be anything. It could be a battle that you can choose what the next weather cycle is, or it stays a certain time of day for a certain amount of time, or you gain a buff of gold. It could just be a gold boost, or it could be a king of the hill in the middle of the match. That whoever holds this point for 1 minute their team gets a boost, or like it just, there's so many options for what it could be that I can't. That's the one thing on the map that I'm like, I want this. I want to know, now that we've got jungle camps and what they look like, I want to know what the obelisk does.
With the obelisk too, like with that name, it does seem like the objective itself will be stationary. I don't think it's going to be a minion of some type, unless
I agree. Yeah,
they're misdirecting us by calling it an obelisk.
The thing I think is most probable of what it could be is some kind of king of the hill altar style, that if you stand on it for 60 seconds, you capture it for your team and your team gets extra gold per 5 seconds or something along those lines.
That would be cool. I like that. They also indicated that there's going to be lights and markers in the jungle. So if you get lost, like I will definitely do, you can find your way back to the lane or wherever you want to go. Which is another thing. You don't
learn the map by heart and you're just like, oh yes, I blindfolded can navigate through the jungle. You're not a jungler though, so that, I guess it makes sense.
Eventually I'll be able to. And then there were many mushrooms, which we confirmed with Paige. I saw there were mushrooms everywhere.
Everywhere. It almost feels like she went back in and put more mushrooms in to prove us wrong. Like just because we made that comment of like mushrooms confirmed, that she absolutely went back in there and was like, oh, you want mushrooms?
I'll give you mushrooms. One thing I noticed, the Elder, when they showed the Elder, he only had 1 sword. But everything we know of the Elders is they'll have 2. So it makes me wonder if, as the fight goes on, he'll...
they just pull out a second sword and, oh, you thought!
His second sword, and become more difficult to kill.
Like maybe half health or something, they pull out the second sword. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's cool. We saw the spires for the first time.
Yep.
The kind of like crystalline look to them, which I think is really cool. And so on my stream for the community corners, which we're gonna do for every community corner. So if you want a breakdown afterwards, go there. We measured how tall Dante is in comparison to the Elder in the extra life test.
Right.
So then we could get a gauge of how big everything was in the base and like the spire. So one Dante is a third the height of a Elder.
Okay.
A spire is half the height of an Elder. So Dante is just slightly smaller than a full height spire, which so it looks like that's going to be a fairly large objective in size, not just the objective itself.
So we're going to measure things in Dante's instead of Nikolai's then.
That's because we don't have a good measurement for Nikolai now.
Or is Dante like the meter? Nikolai is the centimeter. Like
it's 4 Nikolais to a Dante, 1 Dante, 3 Dantes to a Grognark. Like it's just
units of measurement. That's
I like
awesome. The map is 1,000 lias long.
I want that stat. League of Legends does like fun facts while you're loading into the game. Like if you only traveled by using your blink special ability, it would take you 5 hours to travel across the map. Like I want that, but I want that for ethereal. Like you said, the map is 3,000 lias long. Thank you. I think I don't know. I more feel bad for whoever did that than I actually wanted to know how long it was in lias. But is that wingspan included or not included? Where are we drawing the line here?
That would be great. I would love that if they did something like that. I can see them doing something like that too.
All right. Awesome. You know what, devs? I'll do it. I'll be the guy. Whenever somebody asks, just give me the thing I need, whatever I need to do. I'll line up the lias and be able to tell you exactly how many lias long the map is.
So I think that's it for the community corner stuff that we're going to talk about. Unless you had anything else, Jelly.
Other than the little details, but that would take us an hour.
Yeah. If you want those, check out the video that Jelly was referencing.
Yep. But then the other thing they did at the same time as the community corner was they added a libraries section to the map, which I'm not going to lie, made me a little mad because literally the day before they add that section is when I made my website video. And so it's like, okay, I just made a video on this and you changed it a day later. Like, I didn't even get a week out of this before you had already changed some of the stuff. No,
that's the way it goes.
Basically a section to hold all of the lore for all of the myths is what it seems like. Because we've got the Dash-A tribe lore, we've got Malaya's lore, and now we have Dante's lore on there. In short stories and things like that. And from what I've read so far, they're incredible. Dante's Spoiled Rotten. It's 3 parts, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Insane.
I think this just goes to show that there's going to be a hell of a lot more lore to each hero than just their introductory blurb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that is a lot.
We think we figured out Dante's passive from the Spoiled Rotten short story that he's in. Noxus made a comment about if you are looking carefully, you can find his abilities. We've known his abilities. The one thing we didn't know because it wasn't functional in the extra life test was his passive. And I think it's something called Nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, there's a line that says he shot his first Nemesis. And every time he shoots them, it's dealing more and more damage to their armor or something like that. And it's like, okay, this feels a little too like perfect to fit in there. Like, and it's randomly the word nemesis being thrown in. It's like, why are you saying this? This is a call to something. Like, yeah, it's pretty great.
Along with the lore, they got a couple of pictures too. For the Dash-A tribe, you got the actual village that Malaya is from. And then for Dante's intro lore. Oh, where'd it go? It's not pulling up for me right now. Oh, there we go. You got his city that he's from. Zuria?
Yeah.
And you even got like some little holographic Dante images popping up. It's a pretty cool little thing. It just shows you how different the backgrounds for each myth is going to be, with Dante being from this sprawling modern metropolis and Malaya being from a very humble village with thatched roofs and horses and stuff.
Very, very different walks of life entirely. The thing I really liked about Dante's in particular, but Malaya's has elements of this as well, is it felt like Dante's short story and lore felt like there were other characters in there that we could definitely see as future myths.
Yes.
Like they're reading it, I was like, this
100%.
person, like there's a little too much detail about them that I'm like, this feels like somebody we could see in 6 months. Like I'm pretty sure. That's a whole tinfoil theory in itself.
I totally agree. They spent a little too much time developing some of those characters.
It's not like the normal short stories where you're like, oh, this is his friend Tim. Tim is a good person, but we don't like Tim very much. And then they just move on.
Yeah.
This like describes their shield and how great they are, and they're best friends with Dante, and like they go around everywhere together.
They almost have their own abilities.
Yeah. Exactly. It's so great. I love it because I'm sure you all know, read into things a little too much. So so stuff like that makes me sit there and go like, but wait, is it real? Like, is this actually a thing or is it not a thing anymore? Oh, it's incredible.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see some of those people pop up later on down the road, because we know that they have like, it was over 30 myths planned, right? We've only ever seen like 15 or 16.
Yeah. I think they've definitely said that they're working past myths from what we've seen so far.
Right.
I mean, the fact that they have them voice casted into the future already, I think shows that they're further along in development on future myths than we even realize.
Right.
And not that I'm trying to compare them, but it's kind of like Paragon with every 3 weeks. They were saying that in the beginning. Imagine how far out they have to be prepared to make something like that happen.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine Ethereal trying to hit that kind of base roster before a full release has similar pipelines already built up with future myths.
Yep. Absolutely. Oh, and also with the library and the lore, they released the alphabet, the Etherean alphabet.
Yes.
Which, they didn't need to, because Jelly already figured that shit out like months ago.
Yeah, you're behind the ball, UG. Come on. Tinfoil Task Force has known all the letters.
I don't know what these others are. They have other listed on some on the end.
Yeah, I don't know what that is either. But to be honest, I haven't looked too much into the alphabet because it was one of those things like, oh, I know this. All right, moving on. Like,
yeah, so a lot of cool stuff. If you like game lore, then check this out. It's a lot more meat to the lore for Ethereal than there is for pretty much any other game I've seen out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can't wait to get all of it for at least the pre-alpha 7 and just see how it's all going to piece together and start remembering lore and see interactions or hear voice lines that you go like, oh wait, that's in the lore. Like
yeah.
I love the little details like that.
Before somebody calls me out on it, I should say any other MOBA. Because if I say any other game, people will be like, but World of Warcraft has, like, Warhammer has 1,000 books written about it. Like, okay, MOBA. Okay, MOBA.
You look at the Star Wars fandom to come after you and tear you to shreds. But you don't understand this twig that Yoda steps on in the 3rd movie.
Oh my God, when I watched WandaVision with Windu and his crew. Like every little thing that happened, this could probably mean, like, oh my God. Just watch the fucking show, guys.
We're almost at J.R.R. Tolkien levels where you describe a tree's background.
Yeah. All right. I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Unless you got anything, Jelly?
Nope, that's it for me, I think. It sounds like they're going to update the website, the lore section of the website every week. And I bet that now that we got Dante's kit, which we mostly knew already in that lore, we'll probably get more of those in the future, revealing the kits further than they already have been.
Certainly hope so. Certainly hope so.
Yep.
Look forward to all that lore. But yeah, Jill, you got anything to plug?
YouTube, all the videos, always, forever. There's literally so many things that I can make videos on now. It's ridiculous. My problem is less so what to make it on and choosing which to make it on. Like so yeah, all the videos. That's about it. What about you, Mangoose?
Let's see. Let me pull something up real quick here. Shout out to Flurky. Let's get some of the some hype around some of the other planned content creators for Ethereal. I don't know if they've done any content yet, but yeah, check them out. Look forward to any content that they may do on Ethereal. So shout out to Flurky. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that community corner that they put on. I hope you guys enjoyed the little show that we put on. And I hope that the Undying Games admits that they got their idea for the community corner from Enter the Ether. So as Noxus and Paige like to copy, I hope you join us as we all enter the ether. Mangoose.